because a project of 60 million, honestly, cannot even take 6 months.
That's a very important question. Waziri?
Mr. Chairman, I think on matters of austerity measures, and particularly in terms of the costs in case there's a breach of contract, what we're doing as a ministry is that we are assessing the kind of contracts we are in, and we also are engaging the Treasury on looking at what needs to be reconsidered in terms of budget allocation. In terms of the contractor performance, the PS will touch on it.
Chair, just to say that's why you have Honorable Joho as the minister. We loaned Honorable Joho as the minister so that he can deal with issues like he's just come up with.
Also, I think we are on a serious business. Madam PS.
Thank you, Honorable Chair, Honorable Members. In addition to what the Cabinet Secretary has said, as a State Department, we took the initiative to highlight all the pending projects, or rather ongoing projects, that we have contractual obligation and we are not able to finish them because of the budget cuts of the supplementary one. So there's a letter that I did sometime in July to PS Kipto, and there's a follow-up letter that the CS did to the Honorable John Bandi on the issues of the project. And the letter is here. We have highlighted all the projects. It's not only this Sagana project. We have new projects, and also we have ongoing projects totaling to 2.1 billion, because that's what we lost in the budget. And number two, to answer Honorable Nzengu on the question. You see, the Aquaculture Center, we had 3 contractors. There's the main contractor doing the building, which he has completed and handed over. There's another contractor doing access road, and there's another contractor doing the lifts. So the contractor doing the access road and the lift could not access the site before the main contractor starts the work. So those are different contractors. That's the reason of the delay. The other reason of the delay is because of the issue of budget cuts. Every time the budget is affected, we are unable to pay the contractor. But currently, as we speak, we visited the site together, even with His Excellency the President, and the contractor is on site. So as we speak about December 2024, those are the timelines we have agreed, and the road is ongoing. And last time, as committee members, we requested we invite you to Sagana to pay a visit to the site so that you can be able also to appreciate the site. Thank you, I submit.
So, Chair, a follow-up on that. Now, we are talking about the project starting on November 2022. Now, last year, the financial year that we are reviewing, there was almost 100% implementation of the budget. How much money had been allocated in that particular year?
Chair, on the amount that was there was 12 million. And that is exactly the amount that we paid, irrespective of the fact that the certified amounts on the contract were 14 million. But we paid all that was available in the budget.
I think that the question by Nsenku is okay, and I want to plead with you members. Can we have from where finish the presentation, and all of us will take notes, so that when I open the floor for the questions, so all of us we can ask the questions. Otherwise, we may get lost. But for now, let me, because you are already on the mic, Charity.
Thank you, Chair. I just said a concern in relation with the same thing in summary before we proceed. When we talk about the access road, the parking associated works, I have handed 3 contractors. Chair, if you don't mind, we'd also like to understand how much, probably out of the 12 million paid, how much each out of the 3 contractors was paid, or also the cost per each contract.
Chair, the amount of 12 million is specific for the road. It's specific.
I think our clerk Maluk here will coordinate with the office so that we can pay a courtesy visit to see what is happening there. So Maluk, Maluk is my clerk, so I'm used to calling him many times. Wamwea, can you proceed now with the presentation? We finished, and I want to ask my colleagues here, we take notes. I'm going to open the floor for questions so that we make progress.
Okay, the third project is a supply and installation of 2 number lifts at the proposed National Aquaculture Technology Development and Innovation Center in Sagana, Kirinyaga. The contract sum is 18 million. The commencement date was 15th December 2022. The original completion date was 15th July 2023. The revised completion date is 31st December 2024. The certified amount for payment was 11.74. The paid amount was 7. The status is the project is 90% complete. Cumulative expenditure is 7. The budget for the financial year 2023-24 is 19 million, and the budget for this current financial year is nil. The next project is the Fish Monitoring Control Surveillance Center in Mombasa. The funds normally utilized for the annual license for monitoring, control, and surveillance of vehicles. The amount paid was 21 million. What was in the budget was what was in the budget of 2023-24 was 25 million. In the current year's budget is nil. Project number 5. This is the Aquaculture Business Development Project, ABDP, which is in Homa Bay County, Migori County, Kakamega County, Kirinyaga County, Nyeri County, Meru County, Kiambu County, Machakos County, Kajiado County, Tharaka County, Siaya County, Kisumu County, Embu County, Busia County, and Kisii County. The cost of the project is 12.972 billion, GOK 3.972, and the loans from IFAD is 9 billion. The commencement date for this project was 22nd June 2018. The original completion date is 1st June 2026. The current status of the project is 50% complete, and the cumulative payments to date is 6.477 billion, out of which 2.412 is GOK and 4.065 is loans, IFAD loans. In the last year's financial budget, the total amount was allocation was 2.36.
Point of order, Chair.
Okay.
Cost of project is 12.972. Do you mean million or billion? Is it a billion or a million?
It's okay the way it is. It's 12,972 million, which is the same as billion.
A billion.
Maybe I don't understand.
It's an engineer.
What is a? No, let me understand. I just want to understand. Why is it not a billion and it's a million?
No, 12,000 billion, 12,000 million is a billion.
It's around the
Unajua chair, uliza sio ujinga. Uliza sio ujinga. Because okay, fine, I know, I understand.
No,
but
it is true. It is good to get clarification.
Why is it not written billion? So in case it is a million, what will you write? You write 1,000? And when it is 1,000, what will you write?
For consistency, this is 12,000 million. So when it's a million, it's still a million.
The way you can have 1,200, but it is 1,200.
Okay. Share, it's very simple. They have used a comma instead of a point. So it's not million, it is billion because it's a comma. Very good. Yes.
No, Chair, it's the other way around.
Proceed.
When you use a comma, it's a million. Yes. When you use a full stop, it's a billion.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is when it's 12 billion, it can be 12 billion or 12,000 million. So I think it's okay. It's just the way.
No, members, let's proceed. That's not a big deal. It's just a matter of standardization. It's just a standardization of figures. Yeah, let's proceed.
So, Chair, the budget for the last financial year was 2.320, out of which 763 million was GOK, 1.5557 million was IFAD funds. In the current year's budget, the total budget is 3.606.20, out of which 549 million is GOK, 3.057 million are loans from IFAD. The next project is the Kenya Marine Fisheries and Socio-Economic Development Project, KEMSFED, which is a World Bank funded project. And that one is in Mombasa County, Kwale County, Kilifi County, Tana River County, and Lamu County. The cost of the project is 11,903 million, out of which the GOK is 1.983 million, and the loans from World Bank are 10,000 million, which is 10 billion. The commencement date for this project was 1st March 2018, and the original completion date is 30th June 2025. The current status of the project is 45% complete. The cumulative expenditure is 5.4 billion, out of which 625 million is GOK, 4.7 million are loans from IDA. In the budget of last year, the total amount was 3.135, out of which 477 million was GOK, 2.658 was World Bank funds. In the current financial year, the total allocation is 3.86 billion, out of which 523 million is GOK and 2.563 billion is World Bank funds. The next project is a proposed construction of fish market at Likoni in Mombasa County. The contract sum is 77.52 million. No amount of works has been certified so far. The site handover date was 4th April 2024. Commencement date was 15th April 2024. Contract period was for 20 weeks. Initial completion date was 2nd September 2024. The revised completion date is 12th November 2024. The current status is works are ongoing at 55%. Cumulative expenditure is nil. Budget in the last financial year was nil. And budget in this current financial year is nil. And here, Mr. Chairman, I think we need to note that during the revised supplementary estimates last year, when it was apparent that this project, they were not going to get a certificate, we had moved the money to the current financial year. The next project is a proposed construction of a fish banda at Malindi, Kilifi County. The contract sum is 54 million. Certified amount so far is nil. Site handover was 5th April 2024. Commencement date is 15th April 2024. Contract period 20 weeks. Initial completion date was 2nd September 2024. Revised completion date is 12th November 2024. Current status, the works are ongoing. Cumulative expenditure is nil. Budget last year was nil. Budget this year was nil. The same case applies to this one. The figures that were there were revised during supplementary and moved to the current financial year. The next project is a proposed erection and completion of the fish landing site at Sori Beach in Migori County. The contract sum was 140.78 million. Cumulative expenditure as at 30th June 2023 was 125.28 million. The site was handed over on 28th January 2022. Commencement date was 28th January 2022. Completion date was 29th July 2022. The current status is that the project was completed and handed over, but there was a pending bill of 15.5 million, which was cleared in the 2023-24 financial year, whose allocation was 15.5 to clear that pending bill. In the current financial year, the allocation is nil.
Chair, it's good to note that at least there's one success story here.
The next one is a proposed erection and completion of a fish landing site at Mulukoba Beach in Busia. The contract sum was 124.85 million. The cumulative expenditure as at that time was 10.85. Site handing over was 4th October 2022. Commencement date was 24th October 2022. Expected completion date was 5th June 2023. The status is the site was completed and handed over, and there was a pending bill, and that amount of 114 was in the budget of last year, which was settled, and that was also completed. The next one is a proposed erection and completion of fish landing site at Wanda Kotieno Beach in Siaya County. Contract sum was 134.92 million. Cumulative expenditure as of 30th June was 119. Commencement date was 21st January 2022. The current status is that the project was completed and handed over. There was a pending bill of 15.5 million, which was paid with the funds allocated in the 2023 budget of 15.5 billion. Proposed renovation and rehabilitation of Vanga fish landing site in Kwale County. The contract sum was 28.81. Cumulative expenditures as of 30th June was 16.31. Commencement date was 14 June 2019. Original completion date was 1st November 2019. The project was completed and handing over. There was a pending bill that was cleared with the budget allocation in the 2023 financial year. Next year's the allocation is nil. The next project is a renovation and rehabilitation works at Kibuyu Seaweed Landing Site in Kwale County. The contract sum is 39.47 million. No works have been certified to date. The site was handed over on 15th April 2024. Commencement date 10th April 2024 for a contract period of 20 weeks. Initial completion date was 19th August, but this has been revised to 14th October. Current status, works ongoing at 65%. Cumulative expenditure, nil. Budget in 2023-24 was 14 million, and budget for the next financial year was nil. The next project is a construction of a seawall, protection wall, and associated seawall works at Gazi Fish Landing Site in Kwale. The contract sum is 57.86 million. Total certified amount is nil. Site handover was 15th March 2024. Commencement date was 25th March 2024 for a contract of 32 weeks. Completion date was 4th November 2024. The site was handed over and works ongoing at 10%. And the NEMA approval has been issued. ESIA report has been done. The cumulative expenditure to date is nil. In the budget, there was 13 million. In the current budget, there is nil. The next project is the proposed renovation and rehabilitation works at Ngomeni Fish Landing Site in Kilifi County. The contract sum was 48.63 million. Cumulative expenditure is at 32 million. Commencement date was 10th June 2019. Original completion date 9th December 2019. The status, the project has been completed and handed over. There was a pending bill of 16.63 in the budget of 2023-24. That was cleared in that particular year. And in the current financial year 2024-25, the budget is nil. The next project is a renovation and rehabilitation of Kichwa Chakati Fish Landing Site in Kilifi. The contract sum was 51.78. Cumulative expenditures at 30th June was 36.78. The commencement date was 10th June 2019. The original completion date was 9th December 2019. The project was completed and handed over, but however, there was a pending bill of 15 million, which we provided in the 2023-24 financial year and cleared the same. The last but not least was the marine fish stock assessment. The annual assessment cost was 1.6 billion. Commencement date was 1st July 2023. Original completion date 30th June 2024. Current status 100% complete. Cumulative expenditure 1.6 billion. Budget in the financial year 2023-24 1.6 billion. And budget in the current financial year 2024-25 is 600 million.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Take notes, please.
It's phase 2.
Just take notes. Take notes as he finishes. Just finish from where? No, Eric, you are out of order, please. Let Omwea finish, then I'm going to open the floor for questions.
Chair, number 4 is the status of pending bills in the State Department and stalled projects. Honorable Chair.
Point of order, Chair.
Yes, point of order from Zengu.
Chair, we have a lot of respect for your leadership, but I think we also need to separate issues. We dispense with the programs, projects first before we go to the pending bills, so that we don't forget. This is too much information.
Exactly, because the pending bill is just one page. If you can allow it, it's just one page. We can allow it, then we just open the floor for questions. Members, please.
Thank you, Chair. The number 4 is pending bills. Honorable Chairman, the State Department had pending bills amounting to 206.66 million as at 20th June 2024, as shown below. The recurrent historical bills are 44.48. For the last financial year, it's 51.81, totaling 96.29. In the development, the historical bills are 46.10. In 2023-24, 64.27, total 110.37. The total pending bills was 206.66. Honorable Chairman, the State Department does not have stalled projects. Yes. We don't have any stalled projects.
Thank you very much, Wamwea, for that very good and elaborate presentation. Thank you, Waziri, and the PS also. So now, I want us to open the floor for questions, and I want us to be structured members and organized so that we capture every question, and also we have the CS and the PS to get our questions right and answer them correctly. So we're going to start with the Honorable Rosa, the Honorable Nzengu, the Honorable Engineer Mudama, and the Honorable Ngondawere, the Honorable Rosa.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, from the onset, I'd like to say that mine is not a question but a comment. And I'd like to commend the State Department seeing what they've done with the fishing landing sites. We know that these are sites that really focus on the mainstay, economic mainstay of the people. And the fact that they put a lot of effort to ensure that they are complete, that means that this bottom-up policy is actually going to be a reality for many of these fishermen, because their fish, it is called broad-based government, so please just don't interrupt.
Rosa has the mic, you are out of order.
So I just want to say that...
No, Eric, please.
Eric, I'm about to make a bad comment, but I'll let it go. So what I'm saying is the effort that the ministry or the State Department has put in ensuring that the fish landing sites are complete is commendable, because those are things or activities that directly go to empower and enhance lives of the fishermen. And on that note, I'd like to thank the Honorable Minister or Cabinet Secretary and the PS for having paid a visit to Ogal. Ogal is one of the areas that is marked for a fish landing site. We spent 2 days, we spent a whole morning in Ogal and an afternoon in Asat. And the fact that they came on the ground, they actually came face to face with the needs of the people and the plight of the people. And I want to thank you very much, the two of you, for having accorded us that opportunity. Thank you.
The Honorable Mudama, you don't have the mic.
Chair, one moment. You know.
Okay.
Forgive me, indulge me, Chair. I just want to add to what the honorable member said. I did not intend to speak, but I want to really just speak about the small projects that really touch the people. And you see, most of them are complete. It's a shame that the projects that we had proposed for this financial year, fish landing sites, even in the lake sides, lake regions, including where I come from, were removed. So I hope as we move forward towards the next supplementary, that we shall be able to return all those projects so that we can touch the people directly. Thank you.
Yes, the Honorable.
Thank you, Chair.
Madama.
From the observation of what has been presented, it shows that the State Department is nearly have executed close to 90% of what we had allocated between 2023 and 2024. But here again, if you look at the aquaculture project, which is supposed to end in 2026, there are a lot of changes. And the project itself now, if you look at it, it seems to be metamorphosizing from how it was structured to where it is now. So the PS or the CS, for that case, should be able to explain to us what is the status of this project, why is it changing from the initial how it was structured, and when are we probably going to have it complete. Again, Chair, in the last budget, the 23-24, during our deliberations for the land fishing sites, which were supposed to happen in the five counties in the coast, excluding Taita, the rest of the counties, one of them being in Lamu. If Chair, you look around all the presentation done by Wamoya this morning, you will see that Lamu fish landing site is missing, and Tana River fish landing site. For Tana River, it was supposed to be in Kipini, and for Lamu, it was supposed to be in Mokoe. I would like to know, why is it not appearing or featuring, and is there any challenge? Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Chair. First, I will seek clarification from Wamoya. There is a project in Kwale County, the project that we visited, a big building.
All questions, be guided, all questions are directed to the CS.
Oh, yeah. Well, of course, Wamoya is a delegated authority of the PS. But anyway, that notwithstanding, there's a building we visited that had an issue with the contractor, and I know that you are working on most likely discontinuing that contractor and acquiring a new contractor. It is not mentioned here, and if it is mentioned, please help me to see where it is, so that I can be able to, ask questions on that. Then you mentioned that you do not have stalled projects. You have deliberately left out the Liwatoni project, which I know that it is a big project that is already stalled or has issues. Is it deliberate that you've left it out? Yet it has it has been allocated money for this financial year 2024-2025. Then I go back to ABDB project. That is page 19. No, actually, page 19. The project is supposed to go for 8 years, from 2018 to 2026. To date, it has lapsed 6 years. The expenditure to date and completion is about 50%. One, do you think that this project is going to be achieved to completion by 2026? And number two, what can you give as reasons why this performance? Because 6 years against 2 years, it is not realistic. I mean, we all know that, because we have done 50%. at 6.47 billion against 4.972 billion. And then the reported project completion is 50%. So I need to know whether you think the project will be completed and what reason can you give for this disparity. Number 3 is a Kempsford project. Kempsford also is ending by the year 2025. Their current completion is 45%. The same explanation is required. And lastly, on project supply and installation of 2 number lifts at the proposed National Aquaculture Technology Development, blah, 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 at Sagana, Kirinyaga County. One question, Chair, is that the budget is 18, the contract sum is 18 million, but it has been allocated 19 million. And so I'm wondering why the extra 1 million, what is happening there? And then they say that they have the money and the completion is 90%, but they have only paid 11 million. So why are they not paying? They have the money, the completion is 90%, and they have an extra 1 million. Can they tell us what is the plan for the other 1 million? Is it a deal? Thank you.
So the last one in round 1 questions is the Honorable Ngondowere, and then I will take the remaining.
Thank you, Chair. Just a quick one. First, the absorption rate is good. It is commendable. But despite that, I want to take you to Gopeni Fish landing site, which the budget for 2023 is 20 million, while the pending bill is 16.63. What happened there? Why is it that there is an overlap? 2, the last one, marine fish stock assessment. The budget was also, it was cleared, 1.6 million. Then why did you propose this 600 million? For what? Then now on the aquaculture business development projects, you have indicated the commencement date is 22nd June 2018, and the original completion date, June 2026. What do you mean by original? And what are the costs spread on these loans? Thank you.
Waziri?
Honorable Chair, let me first of all pick the question by Honorable Kamket on the conversation around austerity measures and what it may cost, particularly in projects that directly touch the livelihood of that ordinary Kenyan. And this is exactly the point as to why we chose to engage both the National Treasury and the head of executive, if you know what I mean, in that we could pursue austerity measures in many areas. But the one that generates day-to-day livelihood, we may need to reconsider. And I can assure you we're engaging on that issue.
You still have the other question, was it? Now proceed, start with this was a...
Yeah, I was just delegating.
Yes, it's okay,
Chairman.
proceed now.
Yeah, but and I'm grateful for Honorable Rosa.
Rosa, yes.
The whole idea of us visiting the ground is to, first of all, be able to understand whether these designs being proposed from Nairobi do really work. Do they conform to the needs of or the demands of the people and what it takes for them to really thrive. So I want to assure this honorable committee that that will be our way of doing things. We'll engage, we'll go to the ground and consult deeply so that when we make a decision from where we sit, it is an informed decision. On the other question by Honorable Mudama, Engineer, I will ask that you, the PS.
The PS, okay. PS, proceed.
Thank you, Waziri. Honorable members, I'll join the question for ABDP program and the one for IPAD and the one for KEPSPET that was asked by Honorable Mudama and Honorable Nzengu. For the ABDP program, the reason for the change of design, based on the austerity measures that we have been facing as government and as Kenya people, and also to align to the Kenya Kwanza plan. We had to be creative and find ways on how we can support our fisher folk using the resources that we were given by the donor. So APDP program, when it started in 2018, we didn't have an option of doing landing sites. So we have had very many engagements with the donor, and we agreed to do the 9 landing sites across the lake region. And we are investing around 1.5 billion on the same. Currently, we are in the process of doing designs and what Mheshimiwa Rosa said on stakeholder engagement. So one of the programs we'll do, and this will take approximately 9 to 12 months, is to do the 9 landing sites from Kisumu, Siaya, Homa Bay, Migori, and Busia. So we are doing 9 landing sites. That's one of the programs. The second one, we are supporting the cage farmers with approximately 400 million on cages to support them in aquaculture. Remember, we are doing Kabonyo project. So part of the fingerlings that we'll be able to be producing is what we'll be able to restock the lake and, of course, support the cage farmers in the same. The other element we are doing is around 450 million to support the aquaculture farmers across the 15 counties in terms of grants. So this is also another program we are doing on that. So the timeline for 2026 is there. And this week we have had meetings with IFAD, and we're on track to deliver the project within the timelines given. So that is an assurance to this committee. We have signed the financing agreement, we have signed the aid memo with IFAD, and these are the projects we are going to do with the aquaculture program funded by IFAD and Joho.
Chair, with your permission, the PS has just mentioned Kabonyo Kanyagwan, and there's one, Mr. Morara, who's actually gone around and shown that indeed there is absolutely nothing in Kabonyo Kanyagwan. So could you just update us on what you were saying about Kabonyo Kanyagwan?
Thank you, Mheshimiwa.
Chair, also, as she submits, is a question of the original timing. The 8 years against 6 years lapsed. Is it realistic, or are you going to revise so that you don't lie to us, and then tomorrow we are going to meet again and ask the same question? Let's be realistic and smart so that we are talking about reality. If you are already doing designs now, and we are talking about 2026, it's just about 19 months to go. And we do not know when the tender documents are going to be ready so that you can advertise and then now do evaluation. By the time you evaluate, maybe we're in March or April next year. So can we be realistic, really?
Thank you.
Yes, can you be realistic and be factual so that you don't do a guesswork and then next time again, remember you are on answer. So it's good that say something when next time when you read your answer to what you say, so you should be able to defend yourself.
Thank you, Chairman, Honorable Member. First of all, to answer the question why the delay, you remember we had COVID for 2 years, so there was no activity happening during that period for COVID. So that's why the program, including the CAMSPED, that's why they faced these issues. And then after COVID, we went to elections. So you can imagine there were a bit of challenges for at least 2 years. That's the reason why the program could not proceed. On terms of Kabonyo, I can assure Mheshimiwa Rosa that the contract is on site. Actually, we have employed 65 locals. Kabonyo will be completed by next year, July. That's the timeline. On realistic, yes, we are realistic, Mheshimiwa. We had a meeting with IFAD on Friday. We came up with a realistic project plan. The designs will be completed by November this year. We'll have to advertise the project by January next year. Project timeline will be 9 to 12 months and a liability period of 6 months. So we are on track on that. We are working very closely with the donor, and the team from the program are here. Grace is here. So we'll ensure that timelines, we have already committed to that, and we have signed an aid memo to that. So that
Chair, maybe I make myself clear. Yes. We are looking at a budget of 4.972 billion. We have so far spent about 6.477 billion. In this financial year, that is, we are talking about that money being spent. Now, I'm talking about the entire budget of 4.972 billion. Is it going to be exhausted by 2026? Because what you're telling us now is a current situation as it is. You are designing for the 9 landing sites. You are going to be done with the designs by November. You are going to advertise in January 2025. You are allowing about 1 year for construction and liability period of about 6 months. So you're talking about 15 months, so to say. If you add January, January is the advertisement time. You give 14 days plus blah, blah. Evaluation is about 14 days maximum or minimum. So you're talking about maybe awarding the tender by around April. So if you want mid-Feb, you advertise in January, and by mid-Feb you're able to, because there's also, once you are done with evaluation, you have to give 14 days for contractors who are not satisfied to appeal. So you cannot do it in 1 month, please. We also understand this business.
Chair, supplementary question.
December, they will be advertised.
No, you said January. I quoted you January.
Oh, sorry.
Yes.
Contract signing mid-January.
Okay.
So whichever way, you just work on even on your program of mid-February, you have awarded the contract. So let's assume the contractor is on site by 1st of March. Okay, give yourself the 9 months for completion and the 6 months for liability. Where are we? We're already in 2026. And we are only talking about the current budget that is allocated of, yeah? So now, the remaining bulk of the money is not even, we're not talking about it now. Then we are in 2026. That's why I'm asking, are you going to scale down on this program, or are you going to extend the implementation period?
But there's money for the next financial year.
No, you know, go to that project again.
Is it the next financial year or the current financial year?
So let me just go with them through. Let's go to that item. We are page 19. Okay. There is the cumulative expenditure for that project as of today is 6 points. That is, and then there is there is because I add this plus it. So then in the financial year 2024-2025, you have a budget of 3.6 billion. So if you add 3.6 to 6 point whatever, it is only leading you to about 10.
Yes.
There is a balance of
2.9. The other year.
Which is going to be in the 2025-2026.
Yes.
But then also you think you'll achieve everything within that period?
Yes.
Okay, we will wait until we see that happen.
Let me mention
And
something.
they are the implementing officers here. So it's okay. We wish you well. Wish you well, yeah. There is just a further clarification.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. Can the PS talk about Lamu tender, which was tendered, and Kipini? Because it was together with this project, and it is not appearing here, neither has it been mentioned, please.
Thank you, Mheshimiwa. That is the project for this financial year. We have already handed over the sites, the 5 sites. There's Kipini in Tana River, there's Mkowe in Lamu, there's Kilifi Central in Kilifi, Kidongo in Mombasa, and Moepe in Kwale. The contractors are on site. The sites have been handed over to the contractor.
Now finish the last questions by Honorables achieved agreement from the first contract. And what is it? Yes. Out of that contract, what is the end product? Do you have anything to give us?
Thank you. I didn't know I need such a long presentation. Yeah. So marine stock assessment is evaluation of what fish we have in the ocean and how much you can harvest and the variations associated with that. We have been allocated money to do this in the last financial year, and we were able to do that within the time given. The results that we have are indicative that we have healthy stocks in the ocean, and we can actually double
Point of order. These millions of number of tilapia, so you have some figures, because that is the reason why we gave you that money, so that you give us what we have in our waters.
Chairman, in your support,
or something.
There must be a document.
Yeah, a document. You submit to us that this is what you
achieved.
Yes. Mr. Chairman, if you allow me. Yes, Waziri, you can help.
Let me first of all ask our other officers to attend. Then, if anything, I will add.
Okay. No problem. We can help.
On this issue of the stock assessment, I think we have signed a framework contract. So this assessment is meant to be done on an annual basis for 3 years. Now, number one, the stock assessment has been done in the last financial year. There is a report, and we can submit that report to the committee of what has been done in the last financial year. The report is with us. We can submit that report to the committee to go through, because that has got information that
Chair,
that will guide us.
no, Chair. The question is 1.6 billion. Yes? And work is complete. Yes. The 1.6 has been utilized. Why then are we budgeting for another 600 million for this year? And remember, we are talking about austeric measures, everything has been cut for year 2024-2025. Yet for this one, we have 600 million allocated to it. What is the secret behind this?
I think it was building a case.
Yeah. Just a minute, Chair.
Please,
just want to comment on something on the same. Thank you, Chair. What is coming out clear is that this is a framework contract, meaning it is staggered into stages. And what you were looking for when we were asking that officer to explain to us is to give us the structure, how the project is structured. And if Wamwea is saying they have a report, I think, Chair, we would request that they table the report either for the next deliberation, so that we can assess the progress and see, because it's not coming out here now as we speak. But again, Chair, having paid for us, okay, thank you, Chair.
So, Chair, and then Chair, finally, let me, no, you don't have the mic, Eric, please. Engineer Nzengu,
yes,
on the same. This was
on
stock assessment.
Yeah, and this is the importance of having things recorded in Hansard. When
yes.
we last met with this team over the same thing,
listen.
They told us that this project is running for 3 years. Each year they were requesting for 1.2 billion. So they were asking for a total of 3.6 billion for 3 years. Now if they start giving us any other information contrary, then or they are reading from different scripts, that creates also a reason for us to be suspicious. Because you are the same people who told us in last financial year you got 1.2, and then in the supplementary you got 400. So in total you got 1.6. That is what they told us, that they needed a total of 3.6 for them to be able to give us a good report on the stock of tuna in Indian Ocean. So if you are changing the story, let us know.
No, Chair, we are not changing the story.
Just on what the
I feel ashamed if, for example, the head of department cannot explain this. Well, until now, the finance officer now comes in. There must be something which is not done now, honestly.
Yeah, it's a serious issue. I think the CEO, the acting CEO, should have been actually the one to explain to us exactly what's happening, not the CFO. But the CFO, you are building a case. Can you just build that case? Just give us a brief explanation.
Chair, did you realize, Chair, by the way, that most of these CEOs are acting?
Now, Waziri has just arrived. And we hope that is a question actually. That in my question here, I was asking last, when are you going to confirm?
Everybody's
Waziri, before I give you the mic, maybe we just, so that we don't lose that point, we don't lose the point of stock assessment, let's hear from the CFO, just to give a small highlight, then I give Waziri maybe to back it up.
Yes, now I was going to explain why we needed this other 600 million. It was to cover, because we have the framework contract. which has finished. In that phase, we have the report. Now, there is a phase 2 of the stock assessment that will cover the remaining 2 monsoon seasons. That is why this is required to undertake that activity, the 600.
Are there milestones in any project?
Yes, there are.
Where is the milestone for the first assignment?
Oh, we can provide that because they are there. They are given milestones even in the contract. They are given milestones for that all that activity.
We want that.
We'll give the report. We'll give the report and the milestone and the justification even for this 600 million.
Chair,
so
when this is reported the way it is, then it's marks of a lot of. Look at it, Chair, the way it's reported. That annual assessment cost was 1.6 billion. Okay. And then the current status, it's 100% complete. So that means the job is complete. And what did it cost? It cost the 1.6 billion, okay? And then now you come up again and tell us this year, now another 600 million. So the simple question is, what is this 600 million for? If it's for pending work that is yet supposed to come, then this 600 million should not appear. It should appear with that work.
Chair, Eric, let's give the cabinet secretary, maybe we'll solve many of the motions.
On the same.
Yes, Eric.
What Rosa is not getting is that stock assessment was supposed to be progressive for 3 years. Yes. They got the first batch 1.2, then they got 400 to make it 1.6. They have now gotten 600. They are not yet to 3.6. It's progressive. Allocation is progressive.
Sure. Eric,
Rosa is right.
Let us just look at the report. What they've reported that's coming from the ministry.
It's complete.
Basically, that's what I'm looking at. So what Mheshimiwa Eric is saying is not before us.
Sure.
What is before us is the project cost 1.6 million.
Supplementary.
They received 1.6 billion, but they have received another 600 for what?
Why are you asking questions yourself when the cabinet secretary is here and the PS? Why can't you have the cabinet secretary and the PS here to answer those questions? You should not answer the question by Rosa. They are here. Well, Waziri, you can answer that question and you tell us how can we do a stock assessment of 3.6 billion and in the stock or about the fish economy in the country, we don't even account of even 100 million in terms of revenue. How comes you spend 3.6 billion in stock assessment to count the fish? And in terms of the revenue, we don't have even more than 50 million in terms of revenue from the fish. Waziri. No, give it to him.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I'm happy.
No.
If you put it like that before media, that we are spending 3.6 billion to count fish. Chair, that's you are completely
already 1.2.
Eric, already 1.2 has been used. 1.2 billion has been used.
Point of order, Chair.
But Chair, the CS is here. Let him answer the question.
Yeah. No. Mr. Chairman. Honorable Chair.
Point of Waziri. Point of order. No point of order.
No. You see,
Honorable Chair.
Honorable Amumbi has to declare interest. Yes. The way he is speaking, he has to declare his interest in this matter. Me, I don't have any vessel. Yeah, I have no interest. I don't have any interest. Can he declare his interest? Chair, I am only correcting the chair on the terminology he is using.
You cannot.
I can.
You cannot correct the chair.
The chair is completely
Parliament has the right to raise any kind of a question. Please,
listen.
We have our CS to answer the question.
Listen, Member Wanjoro. Can we listen to the Cabinet Secretary? Yes, the Cabinet Secretary, please. I have raised up the mic, please.
I have raised a fundamental issue. Chair. I have raised a fundamental issue.
Allow me to
say. Wait.
If you talk both of you now.
I have said, Honorable Chair,
yes,
that Honorable Wamumbi should declare his interest in this matter. Yes. Can he declare his interest? Because Wamumbi, the way he's talking, is like he has a pecuniary interest in this
Wamumbi.
Chair, I don't have interest on this matter. All I wanted is to correct the terminology, that we are not using 3.6 billion to count fish. Stock assessment is not basically counting fish. We need to use the correct terminology, Chairman. I have no interest.
Chair,
Chair, thank you for giving me the chance.
Chair.
Last year, when you were doing the budgeting last year, and even the previous year, we had this discussion. We had this discussion,
yes,
and this issue of stock assessment came on board. I remember even when we went to Mombasa, and we were explained what the stock assessment exercise entails. And if I can elaborate it here, Chair, from a technical perspective, it is a scientific study of the stock, of the amount of fish we have in Kenya. It's not about counting fish, because it is assessment of what types of fish we have, the currency, when the seasonal, how the fish moves, and probably what then as a country we will need to do.
So you are now doing the work of the CS.
But I'm correcting correcting the same thing, because I was as a member, and don't forget, Chair, I come from Lamu, where we deal with the fish.
What you are doing.
I know the CS will explain, but I'm explaining what as a member, and we ask this question. So the issue to do with stock exchange is not counting fish; it's a scientific study. Thank you, Chair.
Chair, allow me to say this.
No, it is a scientific study to find out the amount of fish.
Now, let's proceed.
It is counting fish.
Let's proceed. Waziri,
Chair, mine was a different thing.
Please, wait, let's keep to...
Chair, what I was just raising was very simple. What I'm saying, we are members of parliament here. Can we give the CS and the PS and the team to answer the questions? Let our colleagues, members of parliament, not respond to our questions.
On behalf
we
of
have
CS.
the CS here and the PS.
Now, CS, proceed.
Honorable Chair, first of all, let me just confess that where I understand where Honorable Kamketi is coming from. No, let me wait. I understand him very well, because even me, when I came in from the onset, when I was told about stock assessment, and I was wondering, why do we spend all this money? But let me just say this so that we are on the same page. Stock assessment, first of all, is almost a global practice. Almost every country that has interest in matters blue economy, they undertake stock assessment. Number one, it informs us on the kind of licensing regime we may use. Number two, we will not be able to go to investors and tell them, come to Kenya, bring your vessel to Kenya, or even what informed us on, for example, setting up Liwatoni, is to understand what we really have. So it really goes beyond just counting fish. It is the entire ecosystem to be able to understand, and the placements or the zonings for that matter. And probably that is why it was a contract framework, so that you continuously, because these fish, or whatever Kamket called them, is that they migrate, they move from one point to another. There is areas of breeding, there is areas for different interests for the existence. And therefore it is important for us to speak from an informed position. Yes. And therefore, when we engage and even make decisions on the regime we need to deploy in matters licensing and the allocation, for example, how would we, there is something called IOTC, Indian Ocean Tuna Commission, that sits, many countries sit and make a decision on quota system. It must be informed on something. And as a country, we must also understand where we are, so that when we defend a position, it is based on detailed scientific research. I am as disappointed as you are on my overacting, and I assure I'm going to take action. We will not come back here with some of my members. Yeah, even me, I can't allow. No. No.
Proceed, Waziri. Not just proceed.
It's not intimidation. We expect, even me, by the way, I'm not a fisheries expert, but I have to do my homework. Exactly. And we have a problem because, like you have said, a lot of our staff are acting. Like the gentleman there, with all due respect, is acting overacting, because the acting CEO is not there. So this is deputy now acting over the other. But these are things that administrative issues that we must fix going forward. So it's not intimidation or threat, but we must fix. Honorable Were, one we will fix. going into the future, so that when we come here, we come with the right capacity, right decisions, right information, so that we don't mislead you. Because tomorrow, if we mislead you, you will not remember him, Chairman. You will come after me, and I will not allow it to happen.
Chairman,
So
I
allow.
beg to disagree. No.
Thank you. Maybe to add what the CFO was saying. These contracts.
Madam PS, proceed.
This framework contract is for 3 years. 3 years, every year is 1.2 billion. Yes. So that's what I want to clarify. Every year is 1.2 billion. And it's a framework for 3 years.
Which adds to what Erica was saying.
Which adds to 3.6 billion. Yes.
What I only ask, these members are asking, so now the first phase of it, 1.2 billion has already been paid. Okay? 1 year is complete. What we are asking is, as the oversight committee, what do we have? What are we paid for? So now what you do, so that we make a progress, Cabinet Secretary Waziri, table the reports, and then table the report here before me. You table the report here. Yes, you table the report to the chair, and then, honorable members, we are not going to discuss this report. I will call another meeting so that we can have a discussion of this report, and where there is clarification, we will call again the Cabinet
I have a
Secretary.
clarification, Chairman.
Yes.
A very small. I want to seek a very simple clarification. I would like to be educated about the science. We have been told that there is a science of called stock assessment. Where I come from, we keep cows and goats, and we actually count them. Now, if this one is about stock assessment of fish, is it the same as counting the number of fish in the ocean, or the movement pattern, or migration? And how many have they counted? So that we are able, the government is spending this crazy amount of money. I would like to understand that science from the Cabinet Secretary. You know, he comes from that region. Maybe he knows this science better. What is this science of counting fish? Can you explain? What type of science is this?
Chairman, if I may, let me attempt to answer. But we have scientists in the room.
Give it to the Cabinet Secretary. That is a question by Honorable Kamket.
Yeah.
What is a stock assessment? Just in simple layman language.
That's what I was trying to answer.
Yes.
And just understanding what is, and the trends, the breeding behavior, breeding ground, movement, migration. It's in greater detail. Like I said, Honorable Kamket, even me on the onset when I was getting a brief, but I've taken time to understand. And we have scientists in the room here. We can allow them some space to give you in greater details. And I will... Daktari, can you...
Let's listen. Let's listen. Okay.
Chairman.
Let's give him.
Mr. Chairman,
yes.
If you'll allow me.
Yes.
Let me just take this opportunity to invite the committee at the earliest opportunity to visit the institution that undertakes the stock assessment so we can discuss it in greater detail. If you'll allow.
I think that's okay. Waziri, I think that's okay, so that we close.
We close this.
But again, I return back your report here because this report even is not signed. It is not, it is just, I think it's a computer generated thing. So I return back to the center. Because the report here I have to table in Parliament, so I cannot table a report which is not even signed.
Well noted, Chairman.
So, members, honorable members, so that we make a progress, honorable members, so that we make a progress, I want to agree with the honorable Cabinet Secretary that this issue of stock assessment, we leave it to another day, and then we are going to decide with him so that we can visit the institution, see exactly what is happening. Let's also get a presentation of, even including this report. Let's see what exactly. So that when we are talking about in the next at the remaining 2 years, we will be spending now 3.6 billion. We say the country has spent 3.6 billion, and these are the benefits. So can we move now to the next year? The next questions. Honorable Amina?
No. There are no questions. We have to answer the first one. Where is Liwatoni? What about the project I asked about Kwale County?
Kwale County and Liwatoni? Waziri?
Voice of information.
Both they disappointed.
Chairman,
yes.
I thought we said we go through the report and we discussed Liwatoni in as a different subject.
As a standalone.
My question here was, why is it missing in this report?
What he's asking is, when you are presenting the PS, you have not mentioned.
We never paid anything last year.
You know, the budget implementation report, you mentioned everything.
No, but the last financial year, we never paid anything what we were told.
Yeah, but this is an ongoing project, Chair.
But
the others they are saying that we got zero money. It is here. Why this one is not here? And in 2024, 2025, it is funded 400 million.
Okay.
That's why,
Chair.
You know the issue of
please,
Liwatoni, I
yes.
would request, Honorable Chair,
Yes.
last financial year, there was no activity on Liwatoni, and no payments were made on Liwatoni project. To answer that. Because
Chair, we are not talking about paying. We are not talking about paying. We are talking about the project being reported here. Because I remember we even removed that money and reallocated. The money was initially allocated, but we moved it to another place.
Correct.
Yes.
Now you are mixing Cabinet Secretary and the PS. Honorable members, I want to plead with you once again. Let's listen to one member at a time. Now the question on the floor is the question on the Honorable Nzengu. And if you have just a further supplementary on that one, then I will give you the Honorable Mudama. And then the CS and the PS take notes. Yes. The Honorable Mudama and then the Honorable...
Okay. Thank you, Chair. I want to concur with Engineer Zengu that we ought to get this report of Liwatoni because it is an ongoing project and it has not been reported from the previous last year. We don't have any report that this project was completed. So whether there was payment or not, it's one of the a key project that should have been mentioned here and reported to.
Is there a member who has a different issue? Those now are
Point of information.
Point of information.
Honorable Chair, I see this document has been signed by somebody called Professor James Njiru. You had said it's not been signed. There's a signature by somebody called Professor James Njiru.
That is on the forwarding. This is the...
Or
Okay, it's okay. This one is online. Is it an online or a digital signing? It's not even clear, but it's okay. We have agreed that we are going to take it up. So
the implementation of the budget of 2023-24. Liwatoni's budget in the last year was revised to zero. So that is why it is not included in this implementation report.
But it should be, as a project, should be included. And with that, Chair, I want to propose that we do not admit this document because it's not complete. And that my other question, I'm waiting to know what is the status of that project that we visited, which is not even mentioned here.
No, Chair, I think for the two, let me mention, because the way we were doing the report, even the template for report, is only for the implementation of the projects that were in the budget of 2023-24. The project that you are talking, the one you are mentioning, is the Namaret project, which is in Kwale. Also, that project did not have any allocation in this in the 2023-24 budget. We didn't have that one, and we didn't have Liwatoni. That is why we didn't. That's why we didn't report them.
You are lying, Wamwea.
Yes.
Liwatoni had 1.9 million.
But it was revised to zero.
That 1.9 million, which you had indicated that this is for research, feasibility study, project preparation and designs, 1.9 million. For this financial year, 2023-2024, last financial year.
What we are, that is, these are the figures for, those are the amounts which are used for research, not the project.
Because, you know, the report we are discussing here, we are discussing a report and budget implementation report for 2023-2024. And you are saying there is no money allocated to this project when there was an allocation of 1.9 million.
No, you see, what happened is that when we were doing the supplementaries, if you remember, the allocation for the Liwatoni project was, with this committee, we revised it, it was revised to 0. Now, there was an amount that was there for the feasibility studies that was unused, unutilized. I think it was 1 million, 1.2.
1.9.
Yes, it was one which was unutilized.
Yes,
it was for
was there.
feasibility studies, not for the Liwatoni project.
So
yes.
just say, and what the Honorable Nsengu is saying, whatever the report or whatever the projects which were there, 2023, 2024, any project which was there. You know what we are doing is, this is just a progress report.
Yes.
You should mention all the projects, even if it is told, even if it has a court case, say this project is there, but it has a court case. But now when you say like, but you are not mentioning some other projects, it means the report is not complete. Remember the report, we are acting on behalf of Parliament. The Committee of Parliament is Parliament by extension. So the report you are giving us is a report we are going to table in the House. And then we will be seen an incompetent committee that we table a report which is not complete.
If we were to compare with other state departments, like water and sanitation, usually if a project is for 5 years, and we are asking for 2023, 2024, they start with the life of that project in 2018. This is a cumulative expenditure until today. Isn't that what
So
happened?
you just need to admit that it was erroneously left out. You are going to correct your report. Yes, and be included. Yes, so that we make progress. Now, yes, so that we make a progress, there were some, I think about 4 members who are, they were still, they are not asking questions. Very quickly, can we give them, starting with the Honorable Amina Munyansi?
Thank you, Chair. Mine is concerning the first question is concerning the Kenya Fish Marketing Authority and the Fish Levy Trust Fund. And my question will be, like, do they add any economic value? Like, what is it that they do? Maybe if the CS could shed more light on it. Then the other question is concerning the project in Malindi. Since the commencement date is on the 15th April 2024, and the revised completion date is on the 12th November 2024. The works are ongoing at 20%. Maybe, I don't know what's the fate of this project, if you're going to be able to achieve our objective by having the project complete by 12th of November 2024. Then the other concern, Chair, is concerning the proposed construction of access road, parking and associated works at Sagana Fish Farm in Kirinyaga County. I believe it must be a very good project, but I was wondering if the ministry could collaborate or partner with the county or the Ministry of Roads so that we could focus on our main activity, maybe on the Sagana Fish Farm, and maybe collaborate in future if we have such kind of projects with the county or the Ministry of Roads so that we do not end up spending money doing the civic work, but we can let them do, these kind of works. Thank you, Chair.
So, Honorable Charity.
Chair, being almost the last, most of the questions have been raised, but let me start by saying I applaud the CS for your aggressiveness, for some visit in this country to understand what the challenges on the ground. I wanted to raise an issue in the page 20. That is the issues of Kenya marine fisheries and the socio-economic. I just wanted a honest comment from the representative who was appointed by the CS to do presentation, that this project was initiated 2018. That is after 6 years. It is now at 45% complete. And today you have sat there, you have presented to us. Within next 10 months, the project will be complete. How possible is it? Then, Chair, I wanted also to add with what Mheshimiwa Nzengu raised. Sometimes back, some of us, some members of Parliament we went to Mombasa, we went to Kinango. There is a project which I've not seen here. I don't know, I can't remember the name. But I remember when we went to Kinango, we met even some
Shimoni Mariculture.
Thank you so much. I just wanted to understand the full status of the project because when we were on the ground, we met people who are benefiting from the seaweed something product, but we met so many machineries which were destroyed, and everyone was saying that they want money so that it is revived.
That is a different, that is a seaweed farming, if I'm not wrong.
I'm saying it was part of the program. Yes, Chair, I just wanted to understand, why do we sometimes do presentations of project when we are still barring other ongoing projects that they are not visible to us when the presentation is on? And the Chair, though you had done your summary on matters of marine fish stock, I end my previous question. You'll allow me to raise my questions. And the CS, you are very innocent on this issue because this is your first time to be in this meeting. Previously, CS, there was presentations, and we had a lot of interest to understand what is this fish stock, and I can hear so many explanations. But the truth of the matter, CS, people to like it or not, 1.2 billion Kenya shillings every financial year. CS, there must be economical benefit to the country. Therefore, it cannot be taken casually. 1.2 billion for 3 years, 3.6 billion Kenya shillings without any benefit. CS on that position, kindly, I trust you, I have a lot of hope in you, Mheshimiwa Joho, sort the issues in this house. There are so many pending issues. You have seen what is happening, but that one does not mean that you go chase your staff. Please confirm them first. They have actually suffered so much on matters of acting capacities. Therefore, it is also part of demotivation. But the issues of fish stock, for me as member of Joho constituency, Nakuru County, this is a thorny thing. 3.6 billion Kenya shillings. What is the value in this country? That would be my question. And lastly, Chair, I wanted to, the issue which Mheshimiwa has raised. Let me ask, it might be a small question to many, but I had concern. Is it our responsibility as blue economy to make roads? I'm talking in relation with the construction of the access road. Is it our responsibility to construct the road in relation with Kirinyaga? That was my last question.
Yes, we'll answer that. The Honorable Kashakwa.
Oh, sorry, Chair, please, sorry. I forgot also I had an interest, I had a comment in relation with the proposed construction of fish market at Likoni, Mombasa County. That is the same page 20. Sorry, I forgot. I realized, Chair, it is still in 55% completion. And I realized, Chair, the presenter is telling us within 2 months it is going to be complete. The possibilities and the honest position, because this is not a storytelling position.
Kashakwa?
Thank you, Chairman. Being the last person, I think most questions have been asked, but for clarity, for my emphasis, I have actually not understood, maybe others have understood, this issue of the amount, not the reason of having this fish stock assessment, because it has been ably explained by the CS. Mine is that I have not understood this additional 600 million. That one I have not understood. Because once we say that the project was worth 1.6 and we have finished, where maybe we need an inventory in terms of a report of what was gotten from the study. This 600 million, Wamwea, I think, personally, maybe others have understood, have not understood. Chairman, also on page 18, there is this initial contract on the supply of the lifts. There was this contract, initial contract of 18 million. And then there is in the budget 2023-2024, a mention of 19 million. That one I have not also understood. Maybe once I'm explained to, I might understand. The other concern that I had, maybe this one is, by the way, is whether the State Department knows that we have a lake in Mount Kenya. We have a lake in Mount Kenya. And when this department is expending some resources,
Point of order, Chair.
and Kamket should not be listened to because he will call it a swamp.
Point of order.
I know I have some. Yes, point of order from Kamket. Point of order from Kamket. Put up Kashagwa. Kashagwa. The Honorable Kashagwa.
Lake or Bosa.
The Honorable Kashagwa, put up your mic.
Honorable Chair, I just wanted to make a correction. The lake the honorable member is referring to is actually on the western side of Abadayas, not in Mount Kenya.
Okay.
On that one, maybe we can I can concur. But we have a lake in Nyandarua, and there is mudfish. And maybe if it doesn't qualify to have a landing site, we would request that the State Department maybe provide these cages to the fishermen, and Honorable CS visit that lake. Thank you.
Chair, I think we just have to think of Kenya as one, and everything has to be equitably distributed.
It's okay.
Mount Kenya has coffee. You look at the budget; all the money is going to Mount Kenya.
No, you are out of
water.
order.
So now you want to claim fish also.
You are out of order. There is fish in Mount Kenya.
Now, members, please. Honorable Amina.
Chair, please, page 18, Chair, please. I forgot. It was part of.
Remember, we still have a question by Honorable Mishimbogo on.
Don't mind the Chair. That's where we came from, constituency to be.
So now we need to dispense of this so that we go
it's
to
okay.
next.
Page 18, Chair. The supply installation of the 2 lifts. I was wondering how tall is the building, Chair. And why 2 lifts for 18 million shillings, Chair? Actually, that's my interest, Chair.
The CS also has invited us that we visit, so he will also answer. Maybe the last questions is Vice Chair, so that we can dispense off.
Thank you, Chair. I don't really have a question, Chair. I think for the benefit of the whole committee and the CS, we did have the President visit Nyanza about a week now. And this committee's work featured prominently. We witnessed in Homa Bay especially a transformation. If anybody was in Homa Bay, I think about a year ago, what we saw in what is there now is quite a transformation. And that goes for all the other fish landing sites that have been completed. So I just wanted to commend the ministry, the State Department, that there's something, really something to be seen out there. And I want to encourage also the Waziri, arrange a program. Let this committee visit and see the small wins that, if you ask me, have elicited very little discussion, but a lot of joy. But look at the 3.2 billion and all these other big monies, how they are, engaging us. And then they reach out to the very, very wananchi out there. So I just want to encourage Waziri, do a program that takes us to the entire country, where we are able to see these wins, then we are able to support you so that you can reach out even more. And then finally, Waziri, this is a State Department that you really can do a lot. And we've said this many times. We know of countries that are purely reliant on blue economy in the entire budget, national government. If you can find a way of packaging it in a manner that you have done with these small wins, I can tell you, Waziri, this is a revenue generator. This State Department can generate money to the exchequer. So I don't want to say more than that.
I also want to appreciate that all of us are in the learning process. Even us here, we persevere. There are some terminologies there here that we persevere. But then the CFO he introduced that monsoon wind. You know, the last time monsoon winds were discussed in this country, we were being colonized. I hope it is not a scare word so that the committee can disappear. Thank you, Chair.
Now, CS, so that we close this, the issue of budget implementation, I have only some few which we had agreed that they were left out. But as you agreed and suggested that you are going to redo the report so that you include everything. Number one, on the project that is on page 19, the ABDP project, as a committee, we would want, when we meet you next time, we want to see, because this project is implemented both by the national government, through your office, and also the county governments. So we would want also to have the breakdowns of the part of the county governments, so that as we balance our books and the project or figures, we want to see the part the county government is implementing. And also the same KEMSFED. The KEMSFED, there is quite a number of projects which are implemented by the county government. We also want to have that breakdown. There is a project, the Honorable Cabinet Secretary called Capacity Building for the Deep Sea Fishing. This project, there was an allocation of 423 million. It's not been reported. In this report, it was not reported. But I'm not going to dwell about it because we said what was left out, we need to include in the report. On the Liwatoni, of which many members they have talked about, there was an allocation of 39.1 million, which is not reported also. So as you finalize, you need to check on that one. The aquaculture, that is the aquaculture technology development, innovation transfer. The project had a total of 108 million. What your CFO has given us is just reported at 1 million, of which 12 million is for the access road, and 19 million for the installation of the lifts. So the balance is, we have not been told, out of the 108 million, that one has not been reported. So I would just want to understand also. There is a project called Shimoni Mariculture. We visited that project. I was there personally. And it had an allocation of about 6 million, 2023, 2024. And that money is not been reported in your report. The Liwatoni, that is 1.9, we have discussed. And on the seaweed farming, there was an allocation of 41.7 million, financial year 2023-24. That money is not been reported in your report, which you have tabled here. So you will check, like say, there are some other projects which were left out so that we have a proper report. I think many members, the Honorable CS, many members they have talked about, many of your CEOs, they are acting, they're in acting capacity. We know the Honorable Hali Hassan Joho as a man who is handsome. As you settle, immediately please look around and make sure that those who are supposed to be confirmed, so that we can have a substantive officers who are able to make substantive decisions. Also, the Honorable CS, you need to have your institution operate without too much strings. Many of your projects, they are still running in headquarters here and there projects. The Kemfree, I think they are doing very well. They are kind of or they are autonomous. The KFS is like a branch of your office. It's like one of the department in the office. KFS has got also it has got a parliamentary act. It has an act. It was regulated under the Act of Parliament. So let it run
as autonomous institution, and so that the office or your office as headquarters is left to do on policies and administrative issues. The Honorable CS also the Kenya Fish Marketing Authority. Both members, they were more than even the staff. It has not been operationalized. But those are issues I say that they are administrative issues. Together with your PS, you are going to address those issues. And lastly, last time when we visited Ngomeni, I visited Ngomeni and the Kichwa Chakati landing sites. And this one, I want the CS to listen to me on this. I visited Ngomeni together with members here, Amina, quite a number of us, those who visited Ngomeni and the Kichwa Chakati. When we visit the landing site, you'll find that some basic facilities like water, there is a pipeline running all the way 20 kilometers to the landing site. But the villagers, even around, just outside that landing site, they don't have water at all, clean water. So I think when you are doing this, I think there is need when you are even signing your contract, even putting one or two water kiosks just outside there, so that the people wananchi, they cannot just see a line of water running from here all the way to a government institution there, electricity running all the way up to there, and they are just listening to the the noise of water running here, and those people they don't have water. So please, I hope we were there. I think I mentioned it to the PS, and I told them, please, if possible, spare a small budget, even 5 million, and do 1 or 2 kiosks so that the wananchi around there can have a drinking water. I think that's all what I wanted to say. The Honorable Cabinet Secretary, I give you the mic. You answered the few questions remaining, some clarifications here and there. Then very quickly, we check on the issue of Liwatoni question by Honorable Mishimboko.
Thank you, Honorable Chairman. Let me first of all say that I couldn't agree more with what you said on matters of. After all, our interest is to serve the people, and therefore we may need to create some kind of a balance on what we do on the ground. And I've taken those sentiments very seriously, and we will work on them. On issue that was raised on why building a road access on Sagana, it is simply because the access sits on our land. It is part of the larger project. So it is very difficult to convince, for example, the Ministry of Roads to build a road that sits inside our land. So it is access that touches the road into our project. So it is almost impossible that you would imagine someone else would fund it for us. The other issue is on, probably I think Mheshimiwa Amina Mnyazi asked on the pace or the stipulated period of completion of some projects. In some instances, you will see that the infrastructure takes possibly 40, 50% or 60%. Then equipping takes the other 40%. That's why when we say, for example, you see 40%, but in 2 months or 3 months we can complete to a higher percentage, is because it's just equipping. And once you have a contractor on site, it is expected that that can be done easily. On the project of Shimoni, that is a project that's been undertaken by the Kenya Ports Authority and possibly will be handed over on completion. And I want to re-emphasize on the issues of the need on the mangrove, it's seaweed or mangrove? Seaweed. The communities we are supporting, because that's part of our conversation around supporting the blue economy conversation, really. So with those questions, now allow me to allow the PS to take the remaining 3 and CA4 to finish.
Thank you, Minister. On the Kemsfed project, unlike what I said about the ABDP program, For Kempsfed, we have requested the World Bank project for an 18-month extension. Reasons are the same, the issue of COVID, that's why there was a delay of 2 years. So the 18-month extension is to complete the sites, the landing sites that the contractor is on site, that is one. And also to finish the marine spatial plan, and also to ensure the grants that we issued to the community groups, they are able to implement on that. So we have requested for 18-month extension. Treasury has given no objection, and the bank, I think we should be able, it's processing to give us an objection. So that's what we have done for the Kempsfed project, so that we are able to finish within the timeline stipulated. I think the minister has answered about the other issues that were asked. And we have also taken comments, Honorable Chair and Honorable Members, in terms of the additional projects we'll put in the program. That is the Sagana, the main building. We'll also include the Namarat in Shimoni also in the project, and also Liwatoni in the 5. Thank you, I submit.